What's up, people? Welcome back to another setup. I'm actually here on the shores of Toledo Bend. It's absolutely beautiful out here. Evening, sunset. I'm out here on the dock. We got an Airbnb, of course, me and the boys. But I'm bringing you guys something a little unique. And what I want to preface on this, a lot of you know about this, and some of you may not. But it's early pre-spawn. It's literally February 1st as I'm filming this, okay? And I would consider this time of year for most of the country to still be a winter style of a pattern, okay? Now, with that being said, things that you guys need to pay close attention to as we go from January into February, mid-January into February, the days start getting longer, a minute, 45 seconds at a time, right? So as we progress up to like now, February 1st, the days have lengthened, and the bass are aware of that. And they instantly switch their biological clock. They know spawn is on the horizon. It's not right around the corner, but it's coming. We need to start feeding up, and we need to start getting ourselves together for that big time of year, right? One of the most overlooked techniques in general to catch big bass and numbers in the early pre-spawn is a topwater bait that I'm going to share with you guys today, and that is none other. This guy right here, a buzzbait, okay? A buzzbait is an excellent choice in the early pre-spawn. Now, it's kind of situational. Let me break that down. You're probably not going to start the morning off 40, 45 degrees in the morning, 39, 32, 29, throwing a buzzbait. This is something as the sun gets up, mid to late morning, that water in those pockets, in those bays, and those backwaters start to cook and boil a little bit. This guy right here is your best friend. And when I tell you giants eat this in the early pre-spawn, I mean biggins, all right? So we're going to dive into this. I got two styles of buzzbaits I want to talk to you guys about. Your traditional skirted buzzbait. This right here, this is traditional. And then we have a naked one here that we're going to do a demonstration of the threaded style with your toad or your swim bait. That's very popular, and that's something that I like to play with as well. So I want to jump into that and kind of enlighten you guys on that as well. So we're going to jump right into this setup, and it's pretty simple because it's one bait, so we only got one rod to go over, and I'm going to tell you guys how I like to throw it. So first and foremost is the rod. I like a rod that has a little bit of length to it, not too lengthy though. I like something between a 7.1 and a 7.4, 7 foot and a 7.4, somewhere through there. So for me, my choice is a 7.3 heavy, favorite Pro Series. All right, this is Tactex braid, right? 50 pound, and whatever your favorite buzzbait is. My buddy Jacob Wheeler makes this one. Accent is the brand. I've been throwing this one for a really long time. It's a good buzzbait too. So lots of them out there to choose from, but whatever your favorite is, this is what you want to pick up. Now, I really like black in the pre-spawn. Chartreuse and white's great. White is good. Your shad colors are really good. But for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, black seems to really shine in the early pre-spawn. So for me, I'm going to take this black skirted buzzbait, and I'll put a black trailer on here, like a Zoom Speed Crawl, Bandito Bug, something that has a little tail kicking action, a Strike King Rage Menace, something like that, right? And I want it to be a little bit more compact. You got to understand these fish are just getting up into these areas. They're wanting to pre-spawn. These are oftentimes the bigger females. And sometimes a big, gaudy bait is just a little bit too much for them. So on the skirted buzzbait, I tend to go, I'll trim the skirt down, and I'll put a smaller trailer on the back, like I said. And I listed those previously. You know, a nice compact offering for them. Now, you want to make sure your buzzbaits are tuned and they give you that good squeal. You hear that? You hear that squealing, that pig squeal, that cry? A lot of people tune their buzzbaits to get that. You definitely want to have that. That helps get a lot of extra strikes and just attracts, it just gets the bass to come over there and look at it, right? First and foremost. The reel, Johnny Moore's Platinum reel. This is an 8 3-to-1. You want a high-speed reel to keep that bait up, be very efficient, right? so you can cover a lot of water, because this is a technique that you're going to need to put that trolling motor on, not necessarily high, but you're going to have it rolling, and you're going to be making some casts, and you're going to be covering some water, getting around, and you're going to go ahead and generate those monstrous bites. So the other style buzzbait I want to talk to you guys about and show you. So here you see I have another one. It's a little bit smaller, but what I did was I shaved the head down just a little bit on this bait, right? This is a little tip that I'm gonna throw in here. You guys get these buzz baits, and sure, you can throw them standard, but if you shave off the sides just a little bit, make it a little more narrower, you can get something like this. This is a Zoom horny toad. You could throw a Reaction Innovation, Trixie Shark. There's so many baits like this also that you guys can put on the backs of these buzz baits, but this is another excellent choice. I personally like to throw this when the water gets a little bit warmer. So let's talk about that for just a quick second. What water temp am I wanting to even pick this up to even give it a shot, right? I'm going to say 55, 56 is the number that I want to see on my graph consistently, that I'm going to pick that bait up and I'm going to start to throw this bait around. Another thing that you want to key on are birds. A lot of your herring, your egrets walking on the bank, obviously these aren't diving birds, so they can't access shad that are 10, 20, 30 feet down. They only get to pick off what's on the shoreline, right? So if they're standing on the shores and they're picking off shad and minnows, that's another indication that there's fish around in the higher water columns, and those bigger bass are moving around, right? So this bait right here, we're going to go ahead and thread this bad boy on. I want to show you guys really quick how I like to do this. So just like you would anything else, you start at the head, you're going to push this thing through. But what I'm going to do is push this thing all the way to the back where the legs split. You might want to moisten this a little bit too. I'm not going to put this in my mouth, but just so you guys know, I'll moisten that a little bit as well. And then we'll force this thing up there just like that. And so now you see that hook set way back here. So the ones that want to come up and short strike you a little bit, you're going to be rocking and rolling, ready to catch that fish with that hook setting really far back. I see a lot of guys, they end with their hooks like midways back. You're going to get a lot of short strikes like that, and you're just simply not going to catch those fish. So thread that bad boy up the wire just a little bit, get that hook setting back. That's going to get them fish in the boat for you. So, and that's the toad style bait. So those are the two that I like to bounce in between. I generally start with the skirted. As the water warms, then I'll transition over to your toad style baits on my buzz bait. And it's just a phenomenal way to catch big uns this time of year. People don't think about this, but really and truly right now, we're in pre-spawn, man. It's February 1st. Those fish are already genetically thinking about spawn, believe it or not. So they know they need to feed up heavily right now. That's why pre-spawn fishing is so good. They want to feed up heavily right now, because when they get up there and get on bed, they're not going to be eating for however long it takes for them to spawn. So right now is a great time to get out and fish in general, but quiet is kept. Excellent time to throw some top water baits, especially when I think of pre-spawn. The first bait that comes to my mind, without a doubt, when it comes to top water, is a buzz bait. So I really want to share this one with you guys. I hope you guys learned something from this. As all of the setups, I really love doing these, man, because I get to share any little tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years, man. I've been doing this for a little bit of time now, and so there's a lot that I'm learning every day as well. But I get to come to my platform and share this stuff with you guys via the setup. So as always, man, drop me a comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. I read all of them. I see you guys are wanting a Tokyo rig. That's been a popular one that's been popping up. I will break all of these down and give you guys my personal setup and how I like to fish these techniques right here on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys. I appreciate all the love. We'll be checking back in with you guys probably in about 2 weeks with another setup. I'll see you in the water.